Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Warframe, we're going to be talking about one-shotting the new Archon bosses that have come into Warframe. If you didn't know, with the new Archon hunts here, the Archon boss is a high-level boss fight, but with that, it has something called damage, I think attenuation, right? Currently, it pretty much means if you've decked out your character to properly build damage, it'll nerf your DPS. It is straight up a DPS nerf so that the boss fight lasts a certain amount of time. I will pop open the post from DE talking about it, but it's quite simple. They just don't want you to be able to do a high amount of damage to the boss, even though we are able to one-shot it right now with a handful of Warframes. I think like pretty much any Warframe technically can with a helmet, but people are using stuff like Rhino, Ivara, Banshee possibly, Zaku, and Zata's Whisper. There's a large mixture of certain Warframes and things that can be used to one-shot the Archon boss. You can use, I think I've seen most posts use the Kuva Heck right now, but I think technically you can use whatever high damage weapon you technically want. So let's take a look at this. First, what DE said. They posted on their like Veil Breakers, Hot Topics, and Launch, whatever. I only wanted to quickly go over the second part, Archon hunts. We'll continue to rotate through a weekly cadence, right? They just talk about all of that. They will follow next 2 weeks. However, we want to take a moment to discuss the way bosses are handled in Warframe. In truth, there is no one way we approach these, and that can be confusing. I just want to say, as always, I don't think Warframe is and never will be a primary bossing game, as the way, again, damage works in this game is so crazy that we have people already one-shotting Archons day one, when in theory that should have been impossible, right? Kill them before damage attenuation kicks in and you're good to go. So it's a huge mess. Anyways, it is worth stating that we currently do not have a perfect solution on single target bosses for a game with such a variety in player loadouts and experience. Oh yeah, people are using Void Strike, the operator ability too, to do an insane amount of damage. I think that's like one of the main things. I don't even have Void Strike because I've slacked there, but one of the main things people are using to get a huge damage boost to one-shot the Arcane or Archon bosses. Oh well. But we are intending to improve them based on our collective experience as a community and developers. This process will take many weeks of further iteration and testing. Between damage attenuation, which is essentially, it makes it so the more damage you do, the less damage you do. It's essentially just a DPS cap, so you can't kill the boss super fast, right? Certain exploits, there's a lot of exploits, who knows, or bugs causing instant damage, and more. We will be prioritizing our gameplay and feedback review to make this boss fight experience better. There is a chasm between people who find them too easy and those who find them impossible, and trying to balance this divide will inform parts of our plans. We want to make the bosses we want to fight. We're all on the same page on the quest for the right balance. So they showed down here, PS, as an example and for transparency, here's what Archon fights look like without any damage formulas. If we want to increase their health so glaives don't one-shot them, they become near unkillable with other weapons. It'll be a tough problem to solve, but for perspective, this is what we don't want either. So this is essentially them running and one-shotting the boss. I'll full screen it here to be nice. As we can see, no real buffs on right now, but they're using chroma, adaptation, right? Good stuff, good stuff. All the scorn buff, all the other buffs go on using chroma, third ability there. Then they'll go out into operator mode, use Void Strike, get that boom, what's it, 1000% damage boost, right? Go back into their Warframe, right? Still has those boosts, and then just yeet a glaive at them. Look at that damage, 2.25 million and others. I believe the meta right now is to use radiation on the Archon fighting weapons, so that's probably what people are using as well. But look at that, then it's even ticking away for like 980,000. This is what they're saying, like they don't want that game to look like, right? Because this is it without damage formulas. So hey, that's how Warframe showed one-shotting it. But since people post on Reddit as well, we have people such as you/oh my right Jay. Okay, nice. To those saying Boreal is too tanky, you can one-shot, one-phase him by dealing so much damage in the first shot that the damage attenuation can't kick in. So if you use high damage Warframes, I would assume stuff like Rhino, Mirage probably works with her one ability. And again, I saw people using Zaku, Ivara, Banshee possibly. I don't know 100% if all of these will work, but he has the breakdown down there, so we'll go over that after. So he's using Rhino. You can see in the top right, even with Reddit's awful pixelization, right? Buffs through the wazoo, right? All of those. Probably has like primary deadhead on, headshots, right? And then down there you can see, although it's hard to write and hard to see because Reddit nerfs posts, that's a Kuva Heck. He's just gonna one-shot the Boreal. Just go over there, quickly one-tap the Boreal's head, right? There's that quick Void Strike. 1000% damage boost. Obviously, that's gonna be huge. I think I could actually, if I did have Void Strike, build this myself without goofing it. And then you see, like, wait, did they shoot? You just see them go over. Boom. They did the quick swap. I think they did a quick swap for a damage increase. Holster, reholster. And then boom, damage. And they did it. You'll see Boreal goes on to the next stage, and they did so much damage that has almost no health left. And yeah, radiation tags, there we go. So I think that's the meta thing people are using. So honestly, don't know what the setup was. Let's see what Right J was used. Arcane Rage, Arcane Archon, okay, I can't say that properly. Arachne? Arcane Arachne? Okay. Arcane Deadhead, more dead headshot damage. You have to remember to build some of this up before. Galvanized Hell. Again, remember to build up the damage beforehand. You have to kill like a handful of enemies, right? Vigorous Swap. Oh, so that's why he swapped right before. Void Strike. This is the big one. 1000% damage. Shock Trooper. Okay, so he put on like Volt's ability onto him. Nice. Plus Rhino Roar. Pretty insane. I think that's all of the buffs, but yeah, a lot of setup. Radiation Kuva Heck, because it seems like more individual damage pellets do more overall than a single hit damage bullet like a sniper, and Boreal's armor is weak to radiation / unstrippable. Yeah, so that's where you have it. If you use a sort of build like that, you can definitely destroy the Archons, right? I believe you'll probably see, and if you just Google straight up Archon one-shot Warframe, let's just see how many videos there are, right? Already, because there's probably a ton. Let's see. Kuva Heck, Archon Nemesis, Overkill, yeah, one-shot build. Grind Hard Squad, right? Solo Archon, like one shot. Warframe Veil Breaker, how to kill an Archon. Yeah, we have all our general videos. This is the one that I saw earlier too, and I was like, oh, very interesting. Someone was using, I think this is oh yeah, a Saryn? Maybe it's a Saryn with Zata's Whisper, I don't know, but they're straight up using a Saryn to go and kill the Boreal right here. Who's this person? Nice, so that's their username, Nacer Elmo. Okay, I'm terrible with those. Elmo Agil. I can't say names. And yeah, they just straight up one-shot Boreal, so good for them. Like, look at that. Goes from having full health, and this is on a Saryn using what looks like a Kuva Heck as well. So that's crazy. You can check that out if you're curious. There's going to be a ton of one-shot builds. That's just like one of the first ones that managed to pop up. So it's going to be a big thing of people trying to build around one-shotting the Archon. But here's the thing. Digital Extremes is well aware of people one-shotting Archons. So it might already become irrelevant by the time this video goes out, but probably not, as I'll try to get this one out Monday morning, and I don't think they're going to send out a non-one-shotting update on Monday morning, but maybe they'll try. I saw on Twitch that a bunch of people were messing around one-shotting the Archon boss. I think Kenjineer's probably going to end up having a video soon, because I saw he was doing that, I think like all Sunday, whenever I was checking in, seeing who was streaming on Twitch and whatnot. So it's been a pretty busy time, and you'll probably still see more people talking about how goofy the boss design for Archons is. Archons are typical DE boss design. Honestly, I shouldn't be surprised that Archon's basically getting a bingo card on the D boss design. They're mainly immune to CC. Okay, they cross that out. ETA, they're immune to all abilities. They're immune to abilities, full stop, okay? They're immune to armor stripping. Yep, that doesn't work on them. They have boatloads of HP and looks like lich damage reduction. Yup, damage attenuation is going to be The main thing going forward, no more than 4 procs of each type. They have invulnerability phases. To be fair, invulnerability phases, depending on what they are, is pretty normal. And yeah, of course, it's going to be typical D boss design. Bonus, the enemies they spawn during their invulnerability phases, they're invulnerable until you pop their tiny weak points. Those enemies move around a lot. Yeah, so this person does not like it, as you can see. This was the discussion post. 1,000 almost comments. This is why the higher MR players are just praying frames that do nothing but never die. Deej is going to switch all your abilities off anyways, so you might as well be a giant health stat. Yeah, it feels bad, man. I think Warframe is honestly just the weirdest game for how to possibly balance it and find like a good situation for the players. I don't think it's really possible anymore, because always something's going to be out of whack, too strong, too weak, too OP, people love it way too much, but whatever. Has anyone tested whether Natterak has a bonus against them? Can confirm it doesn't at all. Boo. Bring my mag prime to the fight only to find that I couldn't magnetize a bastard at all was extremely frustrating. I'm guessing they're immune to Banshee's sonar as well, right? Just tested, definitely looks like they're immune to it. Okay, yeah, maybe Banshee won't do anything, never mind. But yeah, they're so wild that these are the fights these days. Damage attenuation, don't even have the energy to complain about why it's the single worst mechanic in the game. Yeah, people are happy, people are mad. I think the Archon boss fight overall is cool, but I just don't think damage attenuation and Warframe damage numbers are ever gonna work. The Archon fight should be less spongy and more bossy. You see how people recommend stuff, but of course, like, nobody can recommend a proper winning solution for Warframe just because nobody fucking actually knows. The Archon fight should, yeah. Right now, the Archon fight is very different, drawn out spamfest, dumping everything you have right into him, while the health pool is definitely suitable for endgame content, might need tweaks. Having telegraphed attacks that actually pose a threat to you would be nice. Something like the Jackal fight or Eidolon attacks or even the Blitz Xmas ability would be nice, making a real boss fight. Otherwise, just boils down to having a Wisp or Trin or both, keeping the TV alive while you sit in the face holding down the left click. Of course, buffing its lethality definitely means that the HP should be reduced. I think that's a 50 to 25 reduction should definitely be enough to make a more enjoyable experience, right? Like, it kind of does have Eidolon-esque attacks and Blitz Xmas attacks. It has the AoE, and then you go into operator mode and on. Yeah, like, it has a little bit of attacks like that, but meh. I just honestly, I don't even know what a perfect boss fight in Warframe is, honestly, because Eidolons are pretty fun, Void Angels were pretty fun, but I just don't look at Warframe as a game where I would spend tens of hours fighting bosses like Archons, and you're literally fighting the Archon once a week, so it's clearly not their biggest issue. It would be nice if they could make them better. I just don't know how they would do that. Give them less health? I think I can still fight an Archon in like a decent amount of time using, honestly, just a regular old Kuva Heck build, right? I was messing around with mine earlier, and I managed to pretty much do half of his health for a random Archon in like a minute of just dicking around his Rhino. And it's just like a casual build like that. I don't even have any primary arcanes on. If I had a primary arcane, if I had Hellman stuff, and if I had probably Void Strike, I don't know, maybe I'd be able to dick around in one shot, but this is what I have on. I don't know if more fire rate will make it so I do less damage. I know it does overall with damage attenuation, but that's the current situation for Archons in Warframe. If you want to check out my whole Archon fight the first time I did it, go ahead. It's down below, but hey, it is what it is. No perfect solution. People can one-shot it already. I could go get a build together if I had Void Strike and easily one-shot it too. Like, it's just no perfect solution. I wonder if DE will ever figure out how to boss in Warframe, but I just don't think they will, as unfortunate as that may be. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. Subscribe, like, check out the YouTube, Twitch, any other socials if you want. Epic Game Store, creator code Pupsker. Always helps, so I do appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.